Welcome to episode 3. So what we're going to work on is Python. We're going to work in Blender with Python code and how it generates it, so we can have reproducible, knowable results with our outputs from Blender, exporting to the FBX file format into Unity to make a game. And what is the game? Memory Palace. This is all about the Metaverse. So we know about, or we may soon know about, Memory Palace techniques, where in your home you learn spatial objects and orientations to remember anything, including numbers and using numbers. But in the Metaverse, we can't do that. So how do we do it? That's the whole point. Is this is something I think will work in the Metaverse as a memory palace. So let's begin. All right, here we are in Blender, and we have a blank scene. Has the default with the camera, the cube, and the light. We can go ahead and we'll just delete that so we can kind of start fresh. I already did save it, so we have an output in a destination path. But the key here, what we're going to look at, is this tab up here, scripting. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to actually use Python code that's going to be generated from Blender. So we can input our own Python code, which I've done, but it doesn't, it basically crashes Blender when I try and do anything not even that complicated. So we're going to work with Blender. It already has its default, already outputs its own code. So we're just going to copy paste. I know that sounds not too creative, but the whole point is the reproducibility of these objects. Okay? So we're in the scripting tab, we create new, we put import BPY. B or BY or PY is Python, B I think is bytecode, not sure though. So something to research, look into. Okay, first thing, Shift A. Oh, sorry. We're going to go into our scene here. Shift A, we're going to create a cube. And you can see it creates some code here. So let's copy that and paste it in here. And what we're going to do to verify is delete, and then I'm going to press the play button, and boom, it's right there. Okay, so let's continue with kind of creating our first object here. So we have a cube, then we're going to tab into edit mode, and you can see it visually changes. I'm going to copy that, Control C, Control V, and then I'm not going to prove that it works yet. I'm going to press M, we're going to collapse. Okay, then I'm going to copy that, Control C, Control V. Then we're going to go over to our modifiers, and we're going to start adding some modifiers. First is the mirror. I'm going to put that in. Then we're going to add the skin. I'm going to put that in. Then we're going to add subdivision surface. Copy, paste, put that in. And then the new one, wireframe. Wireframe is basically the end result output visually of what we're trying to accomplish here. If I press period on the number pad, you can see it zooms in. That's kind of the object that we got. Okay, I'll delete this cube here and then press play, and boom, that's what we were looking for. Next step, I'll press 1 on the number pad to get a front view. We want to extrude, so we're in edit mode. So if I press E, let me just actually zoom out, press E here. Oh, I messed it up. Here's the only problem with extruding and zooming out. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit more, press play, there it is. E to extrude, I'm going to go to, and I press the center mouse button. All right, see it splits there, we want to be center point. I'm going to go 2 units up. So what I did in the code that you can download from GitHub is change over here for the reproducibility, the actual amounts, not the orientation. Where is it? Over here. I know this is an annoying way to get to it. To change the actual height and value of the height of, or maybe I did get it right there. Oh, I guess I got it right on the money. Okay, so it was already there, but you can change the height in the code. You saw those numbers. Then we're going to tab and there's the object. So we're going to copy, again, it tabbed into object mode, and you can see we're in a wireframe, and that's really the output we want it to look like. Okay. So next, what we're going to do, and why we tabbed into object mode is, one, to see it because of just the way that the modifiers work, but also to start applying these modifiers. Control C, Control V. That way we can add our armature. Otherwise, it won't work. Okay, apply. Control C, Control V. And then finally, and of course you can always adjust everything, but here I'm just showing you how it kind of works. And we're going to delete, press play, and there it is. Okay, from object mode, Shift A, I can create an armature, single bone. Okay, copy, paste, and then we're going to tab, copy, paste, so we can extrude to the armature to the next one here. Copy, paste, and then we're going to tab into object mode, paste, and then we're going to press A to select all, copy, paste, and then we're going to Control P with automatic weights. Okay, and then this, I just add this because this is pretty much the last thing you can do effectively to get to pose mode, so we can actually see how the reason why we're doing this. Press play, boom. I'm going to press this top one here, rotate, and you can see it's working. Okay. Final thing you can still do in pose mode, A, Control, or just A, and we're going to export, file, export, FBX. We're in our folder, selected objects, and FBX unit scale. Boom, export. And so there it is, FBX, there it is, okay. Boom. So there's that first round, and that's how we're to create these objects, repeatable with code. So with the code, I have it all here on GitHub. Portrait Stone Labs episode 3, you can get it. I have the palette and the scripts. If we look, I have all the each armature has a different one. I did 22 of them, and then 2 scripts for Unity, which we're going to get into. And then I do have 22 skins and the rotation of 90. So I added R90. So there's 2 versions of them. So you have all of those, so you can pull into Unity. So it's there, Portrait Stone Labs episode 3. So let's go ahead and go to Unity. Here we are. I just added the scripts and skins folder. But if we go to scripts, I'm going to go ahead and scripts. I'm going to go ahead and drag in all of the scripts from there. And then skins, I'm going to go ahead and drag, Control A, and drag in all of the skins. Which is, it's a lot, but you can see they're all adjusting, so you get these little thumbnails. Okay, so pretty much a blank Unity project. So what are we going to do first? First thing that we should do is add the base. I'm going to go here, 3D objects. I'm just going to make a simple one, cube. And then we're going to go ahead and change the scale, let's say to 50, and Z to 50. Okay. And actually I'm going to here, I'm going to do one more thing, is I'm going to add the palette. I'll just put it right there. I'm going to create a right click, create material. I'm going to go ahead and drag in. Okay. Go ahead and drag in into the albedo. Now I created this new material. And now in the cube, I'm just going to add the new material to the base. Okay. Just so we have some contrast. Next thing I'm going to do is actually bring in our first object, which is going to be, or should I do the scripts? Let's do the scripts. Okay. So I'm going to go here. We have two scripts really that we're working with. So when I dragged in the scripts, that's really not what we wanted to do, honestly. Let me do this. Control delete all these scripts. Those are text files, which is not what we need. So right click, create C# script. And the first one is character movement. We only have two. Character movement. And the other one is toggler. C# script. What? Oh, toggler. There we go. Okay. Double click on it. It's opening Visual Studio. It's right over here is the scripts. Down here, text, character movement. I just going to copy it, Control A, Control C, and this is pretty much how we want to do it with this code. I already did all the code, so Control A, Control V. There's all the code for the character movements. You're going to see the serialized fields, movements. I did put some restrictions on the amount of movement 5 here, which you can get rid of if you want. I did some interesting different key commands, and then the jump is going to be the space bar, but that's going to be, so it's something to adjust. Control S to save, but just so you have a heads up what's going on there, and then so it's saving, and we'll attach it to the character we're going to put in there. Toggler, going to double click, grab the toggler, Control A, Control C. It's very simple. So the whole point of this, again, what we're doing here is the memory palace. Okay, so this is the concept of this game, very simple. You're going to try and remember the location and the shape of each numbered object, and then you attach your own, whatever you want to remember. This is the way to test it and to update it. And so I'm going to continue to test it. It works for me. It's about in the metaverse, right? This isn't, we're using the memory palace. You know, you can use it in your home, which you should start with around your living room, kitchen, bedroom, numbering objects in space. But that's real. And so we're working here with the metaverse. And so how would we do it there? That's kind of what this is all about. Okay, let's get back here. Let's add our first, let's add our character. So we have two here. I have rotate 90 and the regular one. I'm just going to put it in here. There it is. We'll put it to position 1. Still not enough. 1, 2. Okay. Armature 0. So we're going to have to add a few things, but let's go ahead and add character movement. Let's add box collider. It's really small. Let's adjust it a little bit. Here. Oh, where's the... Here, hopefully that's good. Okay, we'll just leave it there, and then add a rigid body. Or rigid body. Okay, so that should be good for that. And then we'll add one more. We'll add armature 1. Armature, is that 1? Okay, we'll do 1 here. Armature 1. Let me do, okay, so armature 1, we just put it on top. Let me put it 2, nah, 1, and then we'll put it in position 22. Okay, and actually let's do it so it's in the front. So Y22, right, so it's over there. Okay, and then we'll do armature 90. You see it, we'll say 1, and then position 20. And it's the rotated version, rotate 90 degrees, okay? So let's go back, so the toggler, I'm going to create an empty toggler. Reset this position so it's all zeroed out, and this is just to hold the script for the toggler. So I'm just going to drag it over there, and then you can see toggler objects. So what we're going to do is, this is the whole point of this kind of memory game. We're going to take, I'm only going to drag armature 1 into toggler. So when we right click, it disappears. When we left click, it disappears. When we right click, it reappears. And you can do it for any object, but the point is we know this is both 1, this is rotated 90, so we'll see it appear and disappear and associated with the position and whatever you want to remember in the metaverse. And then I have obviously 22 more, and you can just keep going up. They're all designed and built so they look a certain way to remember. So you can go ahead and look at all of those and get a sense of this number system that I created out of these objects. Okay, that's the toggler. So what we got to do is on on the toggler, where are we? Armature 0, armature 1. Armature 1 needs to, oh yeah, we dragged armature 1 and toggler. Okay, so let's just add a rigid body and a box collider. Box collider is in a weird spot. Put it at 1. Okay. It'll fall through the floor, but that's okay. And then we'll do the same here. Box collider 1 and rigid body. Okay. So next we're going to add the Cinemachine. Very simple setup, but it's got a lot of Cinemachine is awesome. So what we got to do, we got to go over to Windows Package Manager to install it right now in Unity. Unity registry, it's already there, but to install it into this particular project. And if we just write Cin, it's right there, install. You actually have to do this each time. And it's installing the package. Boom. Almost there. It's pretty straightforward. And a lot of things become after each version of Unity or any program, they become part of the program without adding. So it's adding. Almost ready. It's only been 25 seconds. Okay, there it is. Now what we're going to do is I'm actually going to right click, create an empty Cinemachine, reset. Okay, and then we're going to go to components, Cinemachine. We're going to add a virtual camera. There it is. And then you see these two things, follow and look at, and so that's kind of what we want to drag both our character into. We'll put a lens focal of 75. I know I didn't. You're not seeing that yet, but and then body, we're going to do third person follow. Okay, we'll leave that for now. And then on the main camera, we have to add a component, a brain, Cinemachine brain. Where is it? Cinemachine brain. Boom. Okay. So now that basically attaches our Cinemachine to our camera, as you can see up there in the scene view. Right? Okay. And then here, let's just change the background voice. You can see here in the main camera, this is now what we're going to look through, but let's change it. Solid color, and we'll make it black, like the universe in space. Okay. So those are the basics. Let's press play and see what happens. There we go. So I have where you have the mouse movement. I have you press W, moves forward slowly. And then you right click, it disappears. Left click, it reappears. Q to rotate. And remember, spacebar. Oh, okay. So not bad. So there's different ways it can go. But yeah. So it basically goes back into your starting position. So if we rotate, it'll just you'll start you back, spacebar, where you began. Okay. So that's like super basic. I mean, I wanted, you can put it all around the different things you want to remember, put them on blocks, do all sorts of things. You can, bump into them, but that's basically what it was. So what we're going to do now, I mean, this is super basic, so don't you think that you're not getting something out of it, but I wanted to show how do you get this to work and repeatable. Like this is the end of the beginning, the start point. All right. So let's go ahead and build it. So we got to change platforms, remember? So to build settings, WebGL, switch platform. And then we're also going to publish it on the internet, but we're going to use a local host because you do need a service provider to do that. And that's its own kind of project. You can do easy ones, but this is kind of the key here, is to get it where you can share your game online in the multiverse, when Web3 really takes off. Okay. That's taking a second. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new React, create React app. And we have to make a folder. It has to be lowercase, even though I'd like it to be uppercase. Okay. Now it's going to start working on that. So that'll take a second. Okay. This is still switching, which is taking way too long, but that's just what it is. And then remember, we're going to go here to npm.js, and we're going to get React Unity WebGL, right? So we're going to go ahead and do that. This thing's still switching. Oh no, are we done switching? Okay. And now we're going to go here, open scene. You have to add it. I know it's 0 in sample, but you still have to add it. Let's go to player settings. Player settings. Wow, that's slow. Okay. There's a couple things we can go ahead and do. We're going to change the default canvas, only to keep it consistent with a kind of a web format. They're going to do 800 by 450. Second I get a chance. So I do apologize. My computer is running fairly slow. This should not be taking this long to do this. And then we're going to, it's still creating the React app. My gosh. And then what we're going to do here, resolution 800 by 450. Okay. We're going to change it to minimal view, and then publish settings. We have to disable the compression, otherwise this won't work. And then we're going to build and run. I have the, empty, has to be an empty folder, MMM, for Metaverse Memory Multiverse. And now it's going to start building it up. Okay, so here we go. We got our React app. So we have to CD. We have to go into the directory. I don't know why they do everything except for that, but CD WebGL. Okay. So now we're in there. We're going to copy and paste to install this. Okay. There it is, and it's going to work on that. Let's see. This is going to take this is going to take a while to build. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down. Remember, we're going to copy paste. We're going to do a few things here to make it work. So which one are we going to do? We're going to do this one. Okay. So we're going to have to change some of the information here. It's going to be, instead of my Unity app, we're going to put MMM. That's going to be the name because that's the folder where this is building to, right? So we got to change it to that. Okay, so this is done. I'm going to put code space dot, and it's going to open my VS Code into where we are, our project that we're working on. All right, so it's basically this node modules is a huge file. And what we're going to do, where we're going to put that new, so what we're going to do differently this time is I'm actually going to right click new file. I'm going to write mmm.js. Okay, we're going to create a JavaScript file in our project. And then we're going to copy this. See how it says file app.jsx? Well, we're not going to go into the app. We're going to reference its own page inside React. Okay. And then I'm going to copy paste. And we do have to change a lot of stuff, but export default, instead of app, it's going to be MMM. Oh, autocomplete. Don't autocomplete. My gosh. Okay. And then again up here, you see how it's kind of faded. Three M's. And then we're going to dot slash. Okay. We're going to do that. See how I just added? That's going to be our folder that's going to be created here in the public folder. We're going to put that there once it's done being built, and it's going to reference that. Okay, and then of course you have to rename. The actual files are going to be the same name as the folder. That's what we're doing. That's why I'm doing this. Okay. Now we have to go, so this app.js right here, JSX.js, we have to import MMM from MMM. So basically that's the file, the app.js file from MMM folder, which we haven't finished. It has to be done being built, and then we'll drag it in. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to, which one do I get rid of? I think this one. So we're going to, basically all of that, right? So we're going to delete that. I'm going to do this, MMM / boom. Okay, and that's how it's going to reference from our app. I got rid of the logo. That's why it's shaded out here, because the whole, that React spinning logo thing doesn't matter. Okay, so this is now our new app. Save. Let's see where we are with the build. Still building. It's okay. What else do we need to do? So what the whole point of this, there's a few things we can do. Is we can, this is basically how to create, everything. This is how to create a website where it's a little more effective. So if we can go here to index.css and add a style sheet and then really adjust everything. What I was going to do was actually here, where are we? App.js. Right here, where we're going to do, I was going to add div and h1 element. So if I go here, add a div, Control C, like that. No, what happened? Not Control C, Control X. There we go. Now I can add another div. Okay, and then we can put an h1 element, so we can actually put text in this. We'll say directions, and then we can put directions. But they're gonna, whatever. You can add them all if you want. Which is going to be, it's ASWD, and then Q was to turn left and E to turn right. I know ASWD and Q E to turn. Okay, that's super basic. And then spacebar to reset, and Control plus R to restart. Okay. Still building, 6 minutes and 26 seconds. I bet you it's 7 minutes it'll be done. And then when it is, we're going to put it in there. Let's see what happens. npm start. Let's see what we get. What we have so far. It's probably it's going to show an error. Not here, but in the browser, localhost browser. It's building a localhost. That's how long it takes for it to do it. And so what's going on? Deprecated folder, yeah. See, it's looking for the folder that's not there, which we have to add. Still developing. Okay, here we go. Localhost 3000. And if we add multiple, it'll ask, but then you can do more. And then you have we'll have a build, and that'll be localhost 5000. So So this is still, and again, it's probably going to show an error. So I wouldn't, 723, come on. It's got to pop up in the folder. So this is, oh, okay. So it showed basically the background. Okay, so what can we change? So here are the directions. So it's working. I wanted it centered, but I have to create a style sheet for that. I wanted to show, what can we do here? MMM. Okay, so we're going to change, so 100% height. So when it loads the game, it was going to start stretching. We don't want that. Remember here we had the height, we put 800 by 450. It says 100%, but it'll surpass 450. It'll just keep going to the full screen of the page, which makes no sense to change the kind of the size of our localhost. So the game creates its own localhost with Unity, and this is our game. Boom. E. I'm rotating. Where's our? Oh, there they are. Rotate. All right, so I have the mouse, and then I can turn with Q. And we're going to go here. Man, this is slow. Okay, right click, left click, mouse disappears, right click reappears. Obviously, get closer, it'll make more sense. All right, so what we're going to do, as we can see, created a build. Remember, called a WebGL? Oh, no. I called our site WebGL. MMM, there it is, okay. And then the build. So we're going to copy MMM. We're going to go into WebGL, into the public folder. I'm going to paste it. Boom. Save. All right, let's see if this happens. Oh, no. Okay, I'm going to press reset. No, that's not going to work there. We're over here. There it is. Localhost 3000. And there's our game. Yeah, there we go. All right, so instead of futzing around, I think that's pretty much how it is. What we're going to do, we can do the next thing. If I do Control C, Y, and then npm run build, it's going to create a build, so it's going to go to another localhost. But that's pretty much how we create this. And this build is creating the whole website, everything. It's not just the game running on a local host, but this is the thing that you're gonna upload to your web server. Okay, and then it says serve-s build. Okay, localhost 5000. I'll copy paste. I'll create a new one. Localhost 5000, and there it is. All right, so there it is. Thank you so much, and I will see you on the next video. So however you got to the end of this video, I thank you, and I ask if you could like and subscribe so I can further make more videos and get better at this whole process so we can move forward through the metaverse. Thank you, and see you again.